Welcome to Elder Zen. Hit subscribe for simple health tips made just for seniors. Stay tuned. Your next great day starts here. Have you ever found yourself awake in the early hours of the morning? Maybe with a cup of tea cradled in your hands, wondering how everything could change so suddenly? Perhaps you or someone you cherish once felt strong, independent, and full of energy, only to have all that upended by a health scare as unexpected and frightening as a pulmonary embolism. One day you're busy in the garden, laughing with your grandchildren, or chatting with friends at the corner cafe, and the next, you're sitting in a hospital bed, surrounded by concerned faces, machines beeping, and a word echoing in your mind: embolism. Suddenly, life feels fragile. Your own body, once so familiar, now seems unpredictable, even a little bit frightening. It's a reality that so many people, especially seniors, face every year. In the United States alone, hundreds of thousands of older adults are diagnosed with pulmonary embolism, an event that can come out of nowhere, stopping you in your tracks and leaving you with a flood of questions. Will I recover? Will I ever feel like myself again? Can I return to the activities I love? Or will I always need to be cautious, forever worried that my next step could bring it all back? These questions are not just medical. They reach deep into the heart of what it means to be independent, to have purpose, to trust your body again. Maybe you feel guilty for worrying your family, or maybe you're frustrated by how slow recovery seems. Maybe you found yourself hesitating, second-guessing every movement. If this is you, know this: you are absolutely not alone. Every person who has faced a pulmonary embolism has stared down these same questions, felt these same fears, and wondered, in their quiet moments, what life would look like going forward. But here is what I want you to remember, above all else. A pulmonary embolism may be a shocking detour, but it is not the end of your story. Your body, as battered as it might feel, has an extraordinary capacity to heal. And, even more importantly, your spirit, the determination that carried you through. Every challenge in your life so far is very much alive. What comes next is not about returning to the exact life you had before. It's about discovering what is still possible, and about taking small, gentle steps to reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your joy. And one of the most powerful tools in your recovery, perhaps the one you least expected, is movement. Yes, safe, mindful movement is not only possible after a pulmonary embolism, but it's actually essential for your body's healing and for rebuilding trust in yourself. In today's journey, we'll tackle the real questions that come after a health scare. What happened inside my body? Why does it feel like every part of me has changed? How do I balance fear and hope? We'll look at the latest medical guidance. Yes, but we'll also hear the real stories of seniors who have walked this same path, who have felt the terror, the doubt, the impatience, and who, step by step, found their way back to a life filled with purpose and movement. If you're here, it means you care about your future. It means you haven't given up. Whether you're only weeks out from your diagnosis, still moving slowly and cautiously, or whether months have passed and you're frustrated that things haven't bounced back faster, this conversation is for you. If you're supporting a loved one, or even just curious about how the body can recover from such a sudden trauma, I promise you, you will find hope, knowledge, and practical steps in what we discuss today. We're going to unravel the science in a way that makes sense. But more importantly, we're going to find inspiration in stories of real people who faced this mountain and found their way through. We'll talk about how to listen to your body, how to manage your fears, and most of all, how to begin again, one gentle step at a time. So as you listen today, I want you to keep one thing in your heart. You are not broken. You are healing. And your journey, though perhaps changed, is far from over. The next chapter is yours to write. Are you ready to learn how safe, gentle movement, and a compassionate mindset can help you reclaim not just your energy, but your joy? Take a deep breath. Let's begin this journey together. To truly move forward, we must first understand what has happened inside our bodies. For many, the words pulmonary embolism were unfamiliar until the day everything changed. It's a phrase that sounds technical and distant until it becomes personal. So let's take a compassionate, simple look at what a PEI really is and why it has such an impact on our lives. Imagine, if you will, that your body is made up of an intricate web of highways. These highways, your blood vessels, carry oxygen and nutrients to every cell, every muscle, every organ. When everything is flowing smoothly, you hardly notice. You move with ease, breathe without thinking, and your energy carries you through the day. But sometimes, and often without warning, a small piece of a blood clot forms, often in the deep veins of the legs. This is called a deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. Now, most of the time, your body dissolves these clots naturally. But occasionally, a fragment breaks off and travels up through your bloodstream, past your heart, and into the lungs. Suddenly, it becomes lodged in a small artery, a crucial passageway for oxygenated blood. This is the pulmonary embolism, a blockage that disrupts the normal life-giving flow of blood through your lungs. When this happens, your body reacts instantly. You might feel a sharp pain in your chest, sudden shortness of breath, a racing heart, or, in some cases, coughing, or even coughing up blood. But the experience is not only physical, it's deeply emotional. In the aftermath, people describe feeling shaken, afraid, even betrayed by their own bodies. The confidence you once took for granted is replaced by a new, persistent worry. Will this happen again? Can I ever trust myself to be active, to climb the stairs, or even to take a walk around the block? If you're feeling that sense of fear or uncertainty, know that you're not alone. It's completely natural. After a pulmonary embolism, it's common to feel as if the world has shifted beneath your feet. But as frightening as it is, it's also a testament to your body's strength and to the advances in modern medicine that you are here, listening and searching for answers. Recovery from a PEI is not instantaneous. It's a journey that requires both patience and self-kindness. The clot that caused the embolism may still be dissolving. Your lungs and heart may feel weaker, and your body may need more rest than usual. You might notice your energy comes and goes, and that some days, even simple tasks feel overwhelming. That's not failure, that's healing in progress. But here's the good news. With the right support, medication, and gentle movement, your body can rebuild. The vast majority of people who experience a pulmonary embolism not only survive, but go on to lead full, active, and meaningful lives. The key is to respect your limits, pay close attention to warning signs, and take each step forward with care. What helps above all is understanding that recovery isn't just about the body, it's about the heart and mind as well. Allow yourself time to grieve, to be frustrated, and to hope. Remember, many others have walked this road before you and emerged stronger, wiser, and even more appreciative of life's small joys. As we continue, keep this thought close. You have already survived something extraordinary. The path ahead may feel uncertain, but each gentle step you take, each act of self-care, each new question you ask brings you closer to healing, to trust, and to a life filled with possibility once again. As we move forward in this journey of healing, you may find yourself wrestling with a powerful question. Will I ever be able to move the way I used to? Is it truly safe for me to exercise after a pulmonary embolism? This is not just a question of physical health. It is a question that reaches deep into our sense of freedom, our independence, and our hope for the future. And the answer, perhaps to your surprise, is both reassuring and inspiring to begin. Let's talk about the body's incredible capacity to recover. When you have a pulmonary embolism, it's normal to feel fragile, as if your body is made of glass, and the idea of movement might spark anxiety. After all, You've just been through a traumatic event, one that shakes your confidence and perhaps even makes you fearful of your own heartbeat or breath. But let's pause for a moment and remember, movement is not your enemy. In fact, movement, when done wisely and gently, becomes your most powerful ally in reclaiming your life after a PEI. The world's leading doctors and rehabilitation experts agree. Exercise after a pulmonary embolism is not only possible, it is, in most cases, absolutely essential for a full recovery. Why is that? It comes down to something beautifully simple. The body is designed to move. When we move, even in the smallest ways, we encourage healthy circulation, which is exactly what we need after a blood clot. Movement helps keep new clots from forming. It improves lung capacity, strengthens the heart, and perhaps most importantly, restores your sense of control and possibility. Now, this doesn't mean you need to leap out of bed and start running marathons. Not at all. The key is to approach exercise as a process, a journey made up of tiny, meaningful steps, guided by wisdom and compassion for yourself. So how do you begin? Let's walk through it together, one gentle step at a time. The very first step, and this is crucial, is to consult your healthcare team. No two bodies and no two recovery journeys are exactly alike. Your doctor or physical therapist knows your medical history, understands your current medications such as blood thinners, and can help you build a plan that is perfectly tailored to your needs. Ask questions, share your worries, and remember, there are no silly questions when it comes to your health and safety. This partnership with your doctor is the foundation of your recovery. Once you have the green light, begin with the basics. Most people start with the gentlest forms of movement, simple ankle pumps, gentle stretching, seated marches, and slow walks around the house. At first, these movements may feel almost insignificant, but each one is a victory. They are reminders that you are alive, that your body is working, and that healing is happening. Let me share the story of Edna, a spirited 79-year-old from Ohio. After her PEI, Edna felt afraid to move. She worried that walking too far might trigger another episode. With her doctor's encouragement, she started each morning with ankle circles, then progressed to standing by her window and doing heel raises. She tracked her progress with a simple journal, jotting down each milestone, no matter how small. At first, it was hard just to get up and move from the bed to the chair, she recalls. But each day, I felt a bit stronger. That little bit of movement gave me hope, and hope gave me the strength to try again the next day. The next piece of advice is to listen closely to your body's whispers. This is a time for kindness, not competition. If you feel pain, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or chest discomfort, stop immediately and seek medical advice. These are your body's ways of telling you to pause, reassess, and be gentle with yourself. But if you feel only mild fatigue or gentle resistance, know that it is part of rebuilding your strength. For many, the support of a professional makes all the difference. Physical therapists are highly trained in post-PEI rehabilitation. They know how to spot warning signs and can craft an exercise plan that fits your abilities. Even just a few sessions can teach you proper breathing techniques, safe ways to build stamina, and the confidence to keep going when you're on your own. And don't underestimate the power of your environment. Some people feel safer moving with a loved one nearby or with a phone in their pocket, just in case. Others draw strength from joining a gentle exercise class for seniors, where community and encouragement are part of every session. What matters is that you find the setting where you feel both supported and inspired. Perhaps most important of all is to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Each walk to the kitchen, each time you climb a single flight of stairs, each gentle stretch is a testament to your resilience. Progress is rarely linear. There will be good days and hard days. But each step forward, no matter how tiny, is a declaration that you are not giving up on yourself or your future. Let's also talk about the emotional side. After a health scare like PEI, it's common to feel anxious, fearful, or even a bit lost. Many seniors hesitate to move simply because they are scared. If you find yourself paralyzed by worry, please remember, you are not alone. Share your feelings with a doctor, counselor, or a friend. Sometimes, just saying your fears out loud takes away half their power. You might also consider joining a support group, either in person or online. Hearing stories from others who have faced the same battle and triumphed can light the way for your own recovery. The journey of movement after a pulmonary embolism is, in truth, a journey of rediscovery. It is about finding your rhythm again, building trust in your body, and nurturing the confidence that was shaken but never destroyed. Movement will not only rebuild your physical strength, it will also restore hope, purpose, and joy in daily life. So, as you listen to this, I invite you to pause, take a gentle breath, and imagine what your next small step could look like. Could it be standing up and stretching your arms overhead? Could it be walking to the mailbox? Or could it be calling your doctor to ask about a safe, simple exercise plan? Whatever that step is, know that it matters. Know that it is the beginning of your journey back, not just to movement, but to living fully with courage and grace. Let's continue this journey together. The next segment will help you face your fears, address the emotional weight of recovery, and offer concrete strategies for building the confidence you need to thrive one gentle movement at a time. Now, as we continue our journey together, I want to gently shift our focus from the body to the mind and heart, because healing after a pulmonary embolism is never just a physical journey. It's an emotional one, too, and sometimes that can be the hardest part. It's one thing to be told you need to walk, stretch, and move again. It's another thing entirely to trust your body after a shock. The fear can be paralyzing, can't it? Many people describe the days and weeks after a PEI as walking on a tightrope, afraid that the smallest misstep might send them right back to the hospital. So let's take some time to unpack these feelings, because only when we acknowledge our worries can we begin to move past them. For many seniors, the anxiety starts the moment you leave the hospital. Perhaps you find yourself watching for every twinge in your chest, every skipped heartbeat, every cough or short breath. Maybe you avoid certain activities just in case, or you feel your heart pounding when you even think about climbing stairs or venturing outside. You might even start to mistrust your body, the very body that has carried you through a lifetime of joys, sorrows, and every ordinary day in between. This is a perfectly natural reaction. A pulmonary embolism is sudden, frightening, and leaves you with the sense that life can change in a heartbeat. But here's the truth. Fear doesn't have to be your new companion forever. Let's start by naming the feeling, and you give your fear a name when you say, "I am afraid of having another clot." Or, "I am worried that I'll never be strong again." You begin to regain power over it. These are not weaknesses or flaws. They are echoes of your body trying to protect you. In fact, almost everyone who has been through a serious health scare will experience these fears at some point. The trick is to let them walk beside you, not ahead of you. It's about taking control of your story. A helpful place to begin is by sharing your worries. This might be with your spouse, a trusted friend, or a family member who listens with an open heart. But perhaps even more powerful is to talk to your doctor, nurse, or a counselor who understands post-PEI recovery. You'll be surprised how often your concerns are echoed by others, and sometimes just hearing someone say, "That's normal, and you're not alone," can loosen the grip of anxiety. But what if talking isn't enough? What if your fear keeps you from moving, from living, from trying at all? Here's where community can be life-changing. Many people find great comfort in joining a support group, whether in person at a local hospital or senior center, or online, from the comfort of home. In these circles, you'll meet others who have traveled this road, people who understand the exhaustion, the setbacks, the little victories that only someone in recovery can truly appreciate. You'll hear stories that remind you you are not alone and your journey is valid. Take the story of Joseph, a 73-year-old from Texas. After his pay, Joseph was haunted by the thought that any activity might trigger another episode. He stopped walking to the mailbox, canceled his weekly lunch with friends, and began to withdraw. His daughter noticed the change and gently encouraged him to join an online group for survivors. At first, he was reluctant. After all, talking about health isn't always easy, especially for men of his generation. But listening to others share their stories helped him realize that fear was part of the process, not a sign of failure. One day, he mustered the courage to share his own story. And the responses, words of encouragement, shared experiences, and practical advice helped him take his first steps toward freedom. You don't have to join a formal group, of course. Sometimes, just having a buddy for your walks or exercises, someone to laugh with, talk with, and lean on can make the journey feel less lonely. And if you don't have family nearby, consider reaching out to local organizations that connect. Seniors with friendly volunteers. Another essential ingredient in the recipe for emotional healing is patience. Remember, recovery is not a straight line. There will be days when you feel strong and hopeful, and others when anxiety clouds your vision. On those hard days, focus on celebrating tiny victories. Getting out of bed, making a cup of tea, doing ankle pumps during a favorite TV show, or even just taking a few deep breaths at the window. Each act is a reminder that you are alive, resilient, and moving forward no matter how slowly. Let's also talk about gratitude. It may sound counterintuitive, but many people find that gratitude, acknowledging what you can do, rather than what you can't, shifts your mindset and lifts your spirits. Try keeping a simple journal. Write down 3 things you accomplished or appreciated each day, no matter how small. Over time, you'll notice the list growing, and with it, your confidence. It's also important to address the physical symptoms of anxiety, because the body and mind are deeply connected. Practice gentle breathing exercises. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale gently through pursed lips, as if blowing out a candle. This can calm your racing heart and signal safety to your nervous system. Yoga, Tai Chi, or guided meditation, if you're open to them, can also be powerful tools in soothing both mind and body. Even simple stretches or listening to calming music can remind you that peace is possible. Even after trauma, let's not forget the value of professional help. If your worries start to overwhelm you, interfere with sleep, or keep you from living, please consider talking to a counselor or mental health professional. Anxiety after a health scare is not a sign of weakness, it is a normal response. And support is available. To further inspire you, let me share the story of Marcia, 80, from California. After her pulmonary embolism, Marcia feared she'd never return to her cherished morning walks on the beach. Every ache or short breath sent her spiraling into worry. But she worked with a psychologist who taught her mindfulness, a way of staying in the present, noticing sensations without judgment. Over weeks, Marcia learned to greet her fears with compassion, not panic. She started walking again, at first just on her porch, then on her street, and finally back on the sand she loved. Marcia says, "I still get scared, but I walk anyway. Every step is proof that I am more than my fear." So, as we close this segment, let's remember, fear is part of being human, especially after a health scare. But it does not have to write your story. By naming your worries, sharing your journey, seeking community, and practicing patience and gratitude, you can reclaim your confidence, one gentle movement, one brave breath at a time. And most of all, remember, you have survived. You are resilient. And your future is still full of promise. In our next segment, we'll move from the why to the how, practical, Step-by-step strategies to safely restart exercise and reclaim your strength. Stay with me, because your journey is just beginning. Now that we've acknowledged the very real fears and emotional hurdles after a pulmonary embolism, let's turn our focus toward action, the gentle, deliberate steps that can help you reclaim not just your physical health, but your independence and spirit. For so many, the idea of restarting exercise after a medical scare feels overwhelming, even impossible. You may wonder where to begin, what's truly safe, and how to move past that nagging worry that you'll do too much. If this sounds like you, please know you are not alone. The path forward can be both gentle and effective. You can take it at your own pace. With confidence, the first and most important step before you even lace up your shoes is to get a green light from your doctor or healthcare provider. This is not just a formality. Every recovery journey is unique, and your doctor understands your specific health history, medications, and the exact nature of your clot. Be honest about how you feel, your goals, and your worries. Ask questions like, what movements are best for me right now? And are there any activities I should avoid? Your medical team is your partner, and open communication sets the foundation for safe progress. Once you have your doctor's approval, begin with the basics. Don't be tempted to jump straight into long walks or vigorous routines. The body, especially after a PE, needs time to adjust. Many experts and physical therapists recommend starting with the simplest, most accessible movements right in your living room, or even while sitting in your favorite chair. Ankle pumps are a wonderful place to begin. Simply sit or lie down and gently flex your feet back and forth as if pressing a gas pedal. Do this 15 to 20 times with each leg. This movement is deceptively simple, but it helps keep blood circulating and prevents stiffness in your lower legs. Another gentle exercise is the heel-toe raise. While seated, lift your heels so you're on your tiptoes. Hold for a moment, and then slowly rock back onto your heels, lifting your toes. This little motion not only strengthens your calves, but also reminds your feet and ankles how to move with intention, especially important if you've spent a lot of time resting or in bed. Next, try a seated march. While sitting upright, gently lift each knee one at a time as if you're marching in place. There's no need to rush or raise your legs high. The goal is to encourage blood flow, wake up sleepy muscles, and start building confidence in your body's movement again. These exercises are safe, can be done multiple times a day, and require no special equipment, just your willingness to begin. As the days go by and your body grows accustomed to these basic moves, you can slowly add more. Shoulder circles and gentle arm lifts help keep your upper body active and your posture strong. All of these movements, when done mindfully, form the building blocks of your recovery. But remember, you are not in a race. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Monitoring your body's response is the secret ingredient to safe recovery. Pay close attention to how you feel during and after each session. Keep a daily log. A simple notebook will do where you jot down how much you moved, how you felt tired, energized, short of breath, or confident, and any symptoms that concerned you. Did you get dizzy? Was there new swelling? Did your heart race uncomfortably? These notes are not just for your own reflection, but are incredibly helpful to share with your doctor at follow-ups. They allow you and your medical team to make adjustments and celebrate progress together. Now, let's talk about building upon these early gains. Once you are comfortable with chair-based exercises, the next step is to try short, slow, indoor walks. This could be a lap around your living room, a trip down the hallway, or a slow stroll to the mailbox and back. If you have stairs, you may simply stand at the bottom and gently lift your feet, simulating the climbing motion. The aim is not distance or speed, but simply to remind your muscles and your mind that you are capable of movement. When the time feels right, and your healthcare provider agrees, you can graduate to outdoor strolls. Start with a trusted friend or family member, especially in the first few outings. Fresh air, the change of scenery, and the gentle rhythm of your steps can lift your mood and build confidence. Don't be discouraged if you tire quickly at first. Endurance will come. Some days will feel easier than others. Celebrate every outing, every new step is a sign of progress. Chair yoga and breathing exercises can be woven in at any stage. Yoga is not about twisting into a pretzel. Rather, it's about gentle stretching, mindfulness, and tuning in to the body. Even basic guided movements, reaching overhead, bending gently to each side, or slow, deep breathing with arms floating up and down can help expand your lungs and calm your mind. There are countless free videos online designed just for seniors, many of which focus on safety and encouragement after illness or injury. And never ever feel embarrassed to use aids and supports. Walkers, canes, supportive shoes, and even grab bars in your hallway or bathroom are not signs of weakness. They are tools of empowerment. They help you move more confidently and prevent unnecessary falls. The goal is not to push through, but to move wisely and with self-respect. One final tip: enlist help. Ask a loved one to join you, even if only to sit nearby and cheer you on. If you feel uncertain, seek a referral to a physical therapist. They can craft a custom plan, correct your form, and ensure you're progressing safely. Physical therapists are champions of small, steady progress and can spot potential setbacks before they become problems. As you walk this path, remember to celebrate progress. Maybe today you took 3 more steps than yesterday. Maybe you tried a new movement. Maybe you simply stood up and stretched. Each act is a deposit into your future. Each effort is worth honoring. So as we move into the next segment, take a moment to breathe, smile, and congratulate yourself. Recovery is a journey of thousands of small victories. You are already on your way. Stay with us as we meet real people just like you, who have walked this same road and found joy, strength, and freedom again. Your story is still unfolding, and there's so much hope ahead. As we continue this journey together, it's so important to remember that while expert advice and step-by-step guides are invaluable, nothing can quite replace the reassurance that comes from hearing real stories, lived experiences from people who once felt the same fear, uncertainty, and hope that you might be feeling right now. Their voices are beacons, reminding us that the road to recovery is not only possible, but often paved with small, everyday victories that, over time, become nothing short of life-changing. Take Helen, for example. At 75, Helen never imagined she'd be facing such a serious health scare. After her pulmonary embolism, she found herself hesitant to even get out of her favorite chair. "I was so nervous to move," she admitted. Every ache and twinge made her wonder if she was pushing too far. But one day, her daughter sat with her on the couch. They turned on a favorite show, and as the minutes passed, her daughter gently encouraged her to try those ankle pumps they'd learned about. At first, Helen felt awkward and unsure, but day by day, their routine grew. After a week, I took my first walk down the block slow, steady, but I did it. 3 months later, I walk every morning, and I'm back in my garden. I'm living proof it's possible. Helen's story isn't about overnight transformation. It's about small steps, consistency, and the power of a loved one's encouragement. Let's also hear from Michael, a 68-year-old grandfather with a passion for woodworking. When he first came home from the hospital, Michael was exhausted by the most basic tasks. The stairs in his house looked like mountains, and a simple stroll to the kitchen left him breathless. But Michael had one advantage: a physical therapist who refused to let him settle for good enough. Each session, they'd set tiny goals together: 10 more steps, a deeper breath, a longer hold. And each milestone, no matter how small, was celebrated with genuine joy. Every session, we'd celebrate something 10 more steps, a stronger breath, a smile I hadn't felt in weeks. The support made all the difference. Over time, those incremental wins gave Michael back not only his stamina, but his confidence. He returned to his workshop, sharing with others that patience and partnership are the greatest tools in any recovery. Then there's Teresa, whose story is a gentle reminder that age is never the end of possibility. At 82, Teresa could have given up after her pay. For weeks, she watched her neighbors out the window, longing for the freedom to join them. Then, her daughter invited her to a senior exercise group at their local community center. At first, Teresa just watched from the back of the room, feeling both hopeful and intimidated. But as the group moved through their gentle stretches, she found herself drawn in. She began by lifting her arms, then by marching in place. Week after week, her strength returned and her friendships blossomed. Now, I lead our cool-downs. I never thought I'd be active again. It feels like a miracle. Teresa's journey shows us that sometimes the biggest leap is just showing up and letting others walk beside you. What all these stories share is a theme of starting small and letting momentum build. No one expects you to climb mountains, right? After a health scare, the reality is, progress after a pulmonary embolism comes one breath, one step, one moment of courage at a time. Each day may bring new challenges, maybe some soreness, maybe a day where energy runs low, but each day also brings an opportunity to try again, to go a little farther, to feel a little stronger. But you don't have to go it alone. In fact, the best recoveries are often supported by a loving circle, whether it's family, friends, a physical therapist, or a support group of people who know what you're going through. And if you feel isolated, remember, communities exist online and in person, waiting to welcome you and celebrate your efforts, no matter how modest they may seem. There's also a special kind of healing that comes from sharing your progress, your setbacks, and your hopes. Consider keeping a journal not just of your exercises, but of your feelings, your breakthroughs, even your moments of doubt. Reflecting on how far you've come can lift your spirits on tough days and inspire others who may be just starting out. You might even share your story with a local support group or encourage a neighbor to join you for a walk. These simple acts of connection can spark a ripple effect, bringing hope and encouragement to others. Remember, too, that recovery is not always linear. There may be days when fatigue hits harder or when worry creeps in. That's normal. Give yourself permission to rest, regroup, and try again tomorrow. Each setback is just a pause, not the end of your story. If you're feeling stuck or uncertain, think of Helen, who started her journey with a single set of ankle pumps on the couch. Or Michael, whose 10 extra steps became a celebration. Or Teresa, who watched before she joined and now leads others in movement and joy. Their journeys are not just theirs, they are blueprints, reminders that healing is a shared experience, and that you are never as alone as you might fear. As you absorb these stories, let their hope and resilience guide your next steps. Whether you are beginning your recovery, supporting a loved one, or simply searching for reassurance, know that every step forward is a step toward freedom, confidence, and renewed possibility. So, as we move toward the close of this video, take a deep breath. Let these voices remind you that the future is not out of reach, it's waiting for you, step by gentle step, surrounded by support and filled with hope. Stay with us for the final thoughts and next steps, where we'll gather all this wisdom and inspiration into an empowering call to action you can carry with you into every tomorrow. As we gently bring this journey to a close, I want to pause with you in this moment. Take a breath, feel it enter your lungs. Notice the life and possibility it brings. Wherever you are, whatever your recovery looks like, please know your story is still being written. And you are the author of every new page. Recovery after a pulmonary embolism can sometimes feel like climbing a long, winding hill. There are days when progress feels slow, when the old fears return, or when you wonder if anyone truly understands. But what I hope you carry with you is the unshakable truth that you are not alone. Your courage, your efforts, your willingness to take even one step forward, they matter more than you know. And as you look ahead, you'll see that you are joined by a community of others who have walked this road before you, who walk it beside you now, and who are cheering you on every day now. Let's reflect on everything you've learned and the hope that lies ahead. We began today with a big question. What comes after a pulmonary embolism? Can I ever return to movement, to the small joys and big adventures of life? We explored what actually happens in the body during a PE, how a single blood clot can bring sudden change and deep uncertainty. But we also saw that with patience and the right guidance, your body and spirit are both capable of remarkable healing. You discovered that gentle movement, when done with intention, with medical clearance and with self-compassion, is not only safe but deeply healing. We talked about how even simple exercises, like ankle pumps or brief walks, can send ripples of strength through your entire body. You learned that the emotional journey is just as important as the physical one, and that naming your fears and sharing them, whether with a loved one, a doctor, or a support group, can transform anxiety into courage. But perhaps the most important lesson is this: every recovery is unique. There's no single timetable, no right way to heal. For some, it means daily walks around the block. For others, it's stretching in a favorite chair or celebrating the day you can climb the stairs without stopping. Progress is not measured in giant leaps, but in every tiny victory, a deeper breath, a stronger step, a smile at how far you've come. Let's not forget the power of stories. We met Helen, Michael, Teresa, and so many other seniors whose lives were upended by a pulmonary embolism, but who found hope, resilience, and renewed confidence through movement and connection. Their stories are reminders that you, too, have reserves of strength you may not even know are there, waiting to be awakened. Every time you move, every time you choose hope over fear, you join them in this circle of recovery. So, what comes next? Here are the steps I invite you to consider. Wherever you are in your journey, first, keep listening to your body. Some days you'll feel ready to do more. Other days you may need to rest. Honor both. Recovery is not a race, but a dance forward and back, gentle and strong. Second, celebrate progress. Write down your wins, no matter how small. Share them with friends, with family, with your care team, or even with this growing community. You never know who you might inspire by speaking your truth. Third, lean on your support network. Healing is rarely a solo act. Allow yourself to receive encouragement, practical help, and, on tough days, a shoulder to lean on. If you don't have family nearby, remember, support groups, senior centers, and even online communities are there for you. You are worthy of help and companionship. Fourth, stay curious. Ask questions. Seek new routines. Maybe today is the day. You try a new stretch, explore a new walking route, or reach out to a local class for seniors. Curiosity keeps the mind and heart open to possibility, even when the path feels uncertain. And finally, never lose sight of hope. There will be days of frustration, maybe even setbacks. But remember, setbacks are not failures. They are simply pauses, reminders to slow down, breathe, and return to what works. Every day brings a new chance to choose healing before we part. I want to thank you for sharing your precious time and attention with me and with everyone on this journey. By being here, by seeking out information, by daring to hope for better, by putting your trust in your own ability to heal, you are already making a powerful investment in your future. If you found value in today's conversation, please consider sharing this video with someone who might need it, a friend recovering from illness, a neighbor who feels alone, or a family member quietly struggling to find their way back to health. Every share is a gift of hope, a ripple that could change someone's life. And if you're ready for more support, wisdom, and inspiration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our growing circle of resilient seniors and loved ones. Leave a comment below. What's one small step you're proud of? What advice would you offer someone just beginning their recovery? Your words could light the way for someone else. Let me leave you with this final thought. Life after a pulmonary embolism. Embolism is not about returning to exactly who you were. It's about becoming even more aware, more compassionate, and more grateful for each new day. The journey ahead will have its challenges, but also its joys: each sunrise, each shared meal, each walk in the fresh air, each laugh with a loved one. So take heart. You are stronger than you realize, more resilient than you know, and never, ever alone. As you move forward, step by gentle step, may you find renewed strength, deeper peace, and the quiet confidence that you can face whatever comes next. Thank you again for being part of this community. Thank you for your courage, your curiosity, and your hope. Until we meet again, stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and keep believing in the promise of tomorrow. Together, we'll walk this road one empowered, grateful step at a time.